And we're back. Okay, starting late, but I finished what I wanted to go. That's the blinds open actually provides a lot more light than necessary. Sunny day out. Alright. So we need to go back to the accessor gate to finish up that one quest. I'm in Red Mage for the moment. I've got a little under 8 million XP to go. But I did some calculations, and I think that's perfect. Let's see. That's just under the amount of XP I can get from the 79 quests, as well as the role quests. We got to do those. We can't finish this until we get all the role, at least one of the role quests done, and I haven't finished those. I've only done like 2 of each. So as soon as we get done with the 79 main story quests, there we go. So we went through this. She gives us a key, I think. We'll go ahead and skip the cutscene. Come, follow me to the ocular. I will unlock the door within. Watch. Make sure that. A quick skip here to the Southwall Gate. Teleports me across the thing. Oop, other way. Master Esgos, the captain said to expect you. This was appropriate. Gatekeep 1. Got the volume up so make sure that we get the audios. We're in the ocular.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
I don't know why she doesn't come with me. This is a mess. Go. Orion already knew his identity.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then? By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity, Cid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope! We are finished! Mankind is finished!" Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Cid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th umbral calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Cid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the warrior of light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me, but in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case.
I don't
What
want
do
to
you
punch
need to
Graha
do?
in the face. I mean to have a few words with both Ebic and the Exarch.
Then we should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
Did you find the answers you sought? Is there nothing more that you need? I'll go unlock the door. I need some directions. You wish to know the way to the Tempest? I mean the sea itself, not the island of Calusia. If you make a request to the Tamers, they'll provide you with a model, but... Alright. I'm off. You mean to leave right this moment? Alone? I'm not sure that. Nay, I will not speak to stop you. Go with the blessings of the shadow, and I shall wait your safe return. Okay, before we do this, I'm going to pause the main story. I'm going to pause and also refresh my beverage. Be right back. I'm also going to close my blinds because I think I'm getting to the point of the day where the sun's starting to get in, and plus, I look really much brighter than it should be. It burns! Alright. Let's do the roll quests. Starting with magic. We need to go more Morzuk. Oh, wait a minute. I can't finish this until I hit 80. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm going to first do the thing. I have to do some math. Come on. I'm visiting. Because I want to check a few things. Okay, so this is 1 million. I have 74. So I got to get within 3 million of 80 in order to properly get through that for this one. I'm going to actually decline this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to have to do my break at a different point. Okay, so tomorrow launch. I'm trying to maximize my XP, okay? Require tomorrow, just a moment. I shall saddle my swishy beat to fly you to the island. The open water, to the depths of the Tempest. Our Morrow can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor.
Ah, we have found thee.
Right, you caught me.
Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
I'm a little upset with you, Oriange.
Shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
No more lies.
Pray believe me when I say that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee. Indeed, I curse the circumstances which compelled me to do so. But no further secrets lie between us, I swear it.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianche. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
This is like... Even I'm getting emotional to this.
No! Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive. And I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right!
Yeah, yeah.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
I love Nishola. She does this like all the time. Like, it's gonna be your choice. So what will it be? Oh, great one. Great. I love her to death. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down into Emmett Silk's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method. How do you pronounce that? Come on. Google, I need your help. EFFICACIOUS. Let's turn the game volume down a little bit. A little bit. There we go. Google, how do you pronounce this?
Efficacious.
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 Efficacious, which is in relation to efficacy. It's an adjective formal for something inanimate or abstract, successful in producing a desired or intended result. Effective. So, thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most
efficacious
method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet, ere we discuss this step, I suggest we thus conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea clothes above our head, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. Okay, we're at... Orianche is patiently awaiting word that you are ready to depart. Thine affairs are in order, then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there, nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Hey, unlocked the Pixie quest, or Pixie Beast tribe by going to Sullen. Or at least. I flyer that. I did clear the map, right? So down here. There, to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an island rising above the water? This thing here? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but fail and flounder where thou mayst glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island and spare one in all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. Oh, while I'm underwater, I should have a more water-appropriate mount. Okay, hold on. That really looks like an eye. That looks like a certain type of mouth. Two curved slabs of rock seem squeezed together here, giving the impression of giant stone eyelids. Though it appears solid enough, this rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it your imagination? Well, what hast thou discerned? I've discerned that it is an ordinary island. It reminds me of a certain primal, or it's just like the big one. Yes, yes. Which is a reference to the Namazu, who's like deity would be considered the big one. I would say it reminds me of a certain primal because it looks kind of like a whale, which, if we remember, way back in Heaven's Ward, there was a primal in the Sea of Clouds known as Bismarck. Most perceptive. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title in which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the source. I would enlist its aid to bear us into the depths and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, like in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass, we may move unencumbered and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now I must needs ask for silence, as I make my supplication. I believe we have. I think this is what I expected.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail.
O great and serene Bismarck. Long has it been since my name was called. Why do you wake me, little neighbor?
Fallen si lor wislan. Adas si alinal.
To the bottom of the western sea we go. Pray lend us your back and your breath.
Van urs atslir, olfod thim, iri guath.
This world is in twilight. I wait for the sun to rest. I wish only to sleep.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
You know what? I got an idea. I know what to do. Farewell.
Oh, my snee yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers Bismail win picked. Van dromi drom yakum.
Sleepy Bismarck, you old pixie. These are my precious saplings.
Van read rithye.
Let their wish be the king's command. Oh, what a rare thing to awaken to. My beautiful king, if it be thy wish, then so shall it be done.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. It's only good manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
Lo fallo ruis, van in narsitar, dir sitagnai,
To the west of the sea we go, wrapped in my breath. I will see you to your destination, little neighbors.
How can a whale fly? Well, it's a fae. It's magic.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up! Gods! I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
What the? Do you see that?
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Uh-oh.
Whoa, yeah! It's not stopping! Run! Run!
Valana Anna Tilden Sino.
I have fulfilled my duty. I return now to the lake.
Iri Halmsi Thunne Aktma Thonyasni Hagnai.
I have not flown in an age. It was pleasant. May your journey be safe one, little labors.
Thank you, Bismarck. That was sweet of you. Ugh. Did you have to unceremoniously drop us on the sea floor? Oh, jeez. What a ride.
Wow.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The Tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
Oh, hey, it's a new area.
full glad I am that Mark was true to his word. You have arrived in the Tempest safe and dry? Oh, you'd be like sopping wet. Anyways. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emmett Sulk, and I believe the imprisoned Exarch as well. On Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee into the rift, yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible for a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not so soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and his powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. In the event that you leave the area, speak with Enule in Venmont Yards in Clusia to return to the Tempest. Because I really want to get the role quest, but I also want to get the Aetherite just to make it a lot easier to get back here. Because I think I'm actually gonna ding before we get there. Now, as for where we should be going, I rather doubt Emmett Sulk would be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house the stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. All right, so one of the things we'll be looking for here is aether currents are nearby, but I'm gonna try to speed to the point. Well, there's one really nearby. Think. Oh, there it is. I know a lot of them are like along the path. Okay, so I got that one. Oh, I know where that one is. Okay. Oh, what's this? It's a Sahagin. Hey, are you okay? Run. Wait. Hey, okay. Don't run. No. Oh. 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 Oh, there's an ether right here. Oh, that. You know what this means? I can do my role quest now. Okay, so I got this. We'll pick up to this in a minute, but first we need to go to Murk Soup because since I happen to be on my Ridge Mage, let's do the Ridge Mage quest. The Mage quest. Go from a completely wet place to a completely dry place. Oh, this is also flying. Ah, there you are. I'm happy to know that the boy is awake, and it seems that there's no worse for the wear, physically speaking at least. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he's from, and just how he managed to get swallowed up by the void. I forgot what voice I gave him, so I'm just gonna not use a voice. Hey. In fact, other than his own name, Tanner, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you. Eats his half-hour's cooking with a smile and nary a word of complaint. Yet I reckon he's hurting inside and badly. Must reunite him with his parents with all due speed. I suggest that he go for a stroll around Mordsuk in the hopes that the sights might help to jog his memories. You can't have wandered far. Why don't you go check? Oh, do not tell me. You're the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I feel that from you the same wolf that reached out to me when I was adrift in the ether. Oh, I'll be damned. The boy's a sharp one. And that's not the least of it. The Kara who examined him said he could feel great power welling up from within him. Despite his age, Tanner here seems to possess a remarkable command of the magical arts. Perhaps I do, and yet I cannot say. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of who I am or what I came from. The darkness. No need to apologize, boy. You did well just to make it back to us. Speaking of which, could you remember anything at all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? That I remember, at least I think I do. I recalled the vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this is what roused me from my slumber. The halls truly are a gate between worlds, and that would mean that someone recently traveled from ours to another, or from another to ours. But that's not possible, or is it? You'd be surprised. You know something I don't, friend? Why not? I won't pry for details. Ah, well, no sense racking our brain other matters beyond our comprehension. Let's concentrate on what we can do, namely find the boy here at home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time. You truly do that? For me, for the two of you who have already saved my life, I could have possibly burden you any further. Ah, it's no burden at all. Besides, if we can figure out just who you are and where you came from, this might lead us to the answers we seek. Now, let's consider the options. One possibility is you're an orphan, all alone in the world, with not a soul to look after you. And yet, this seems unlikely, yet the magical powers you possess say otherwise. If you are truly as skilled a mage as they say, then it stands to reason that someone trained you in the art. Who this master of yours is, and whether you are of their blood or simply receive their tutelage, this cannot say. But either way, I'm certain they're worried sick about you. If that is truly so, I would very much like to meet this person, too. That settles it then. Let's get down to business. I took the liberty of inquiring around Mordsuk in the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there has been no reports of missing persons matching Tana's description. Which means that we have no choice but to take our search elsewhere. I know of a merchant in town whose travels often take him far afield. Let's have a talk of him and see if he's heard any helpful rumors. Rumors of a missing boy, you say? Funny that you should ask. It's a long shot, I reckon, but I overheard something the other day that might be of use. Huh? On my way to Morsuk, I stopped over at the end of Journey's Head, where there was an alien mage. As the character said, he'd been ambushed by a Sin Eater who was separated from his child in the battle. Bloody hells, could it be? If the Sin Eater that attacked the poor man was Phronesis, then it would explain everything. This man you speak of, he could be my father. We must go to him at once. Agreed, I only hope that the man is. No, there's no point in presuming the worst. Let us make for the inn and see what the carers there would tell us. Oh there. You knew there was a mage in your care who lost his boy. Well, I do believe we have him right here. I fear there must be some mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him right here. Although after all, this boy with you, he too has been separated from his family. Just so, I've heard that the man here was looking for a son. We just hoped. Last seems it wasn't meant to be. But there are many people here, yes? May I ask around and see if any others are my family? But of course, yet many of the people here are quite ill, in many cases in considerable pain. Not a place for a young child to walk around unattended. Indeed, it is not. Guess it means either myself or Escos here could accompany him. I'll go with him. A walk might help me take my mind off things. Not a bad idea. If the lad doesn't mind, I reckon Tina would rather be with someone his own age. Take his mind off things. Speaking of which, how is the boy's father holding up? I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He is a man no longer. The child insisted upon staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him, though part of me regrets the choice. None so young should suffer such woes. It was some small solace to learn that he has living relatives who reside at the Crystarium. In fact, it was just making preparations to escort him there myself. I see. I reckon we should also find someone to look after Tana as well. Don't get me wrong, friend. I haven't given up the prospects of finding the boy's family, but we have no other leads, and a deadly sin eater is still loose. As the lad tags along with us every step of the way, it's far more likely to end up dead or worse than to ever reunite with his family. Here's what I propose. We find someone to watch over Tana for the time being, get back on the hunt, and gather whatever clues we can about this origins along the way. Yeah, more we can do. I too wish there was more that we could do for the lad, but think of it this way. If we don't do something about that damn Sin Eater, who knows how many poor children will end up like Tana. Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but it's the best we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry. My decision. I intend to take responsibility for it. Bad news, friend. It seems the two young ones had a quarrel of sorts, and Tina's up and run away. Seems the lad mentioned that he'd come out from one of the hollows. The other boy put two and two together and figured he'd been attacked by a sin eater. Then I said, my dad was attacked by the sin eater, and then he turned into one himself. So I asked, what if you turned into a sin eater too? Tina's face went all white. He kept saying, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" over and over again, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting it, "Shut up, just shut up. I bet you're turning into a sin eater already. Why? Why did I say such a mean and nasty thing? Don't be so hard on yourselves, lad. Both of you had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody can blame either one of you for feeling a bit on edge. But we best hurry and find Tina before he comes to harm. Let's split up. I'll search for the west, and you take the east. Be careful out there." Oh, scheiße. Let's make sure I got my chocobo out. There you go. Okay, buddy? I heard the clamor of battle. I fear the worst, but I see that you have everything under control. Are you okay, lad? Forgive me. I don't deserve this kindness. I was just so scared. I was worried about what would happen to me if I ever recovered my memories, and then I started thinking, if I ended up like that boy's father, what if it's already happened to me? There's one matter we needn't worry yourself about. The carer who examined you, me as much. You suffered no direct wounds. You are no more danger of turning into a sin eater than Essigos or me. Is that so? That's good to hear. But I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things, especially after what happened to his father. Funny thing that he was saying the same thing about you. Both have good hearts, lad. Been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed about your feelings. There is still so much I do not understand about this world. Why does no one know of me? Am I doomed to be alone for the rest of my days? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember something, anything. I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone. Maybe I can find out something. Echo. Now it's your turn, Tana, and do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest of mages have known failure. Your command of magic is equal to my own. If I can succeed, there's no reason why you cannot. Be a mind of worry. Focus. Thank you, Norbert. I shall try my best. Wicked White. Are you alright, Escos? I remember now. I was standing here on these blighted plains, my head hung low in shame. Then Narbut turned to me with a smile and heartening words. Narbut. Why does that name sound so familiar? I reckon there'll be much to discuss, but not in this godforsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see if we can get down to the bottom of this. Dana, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I should have said those nasty things. Forgive me for reacting as I did. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories. Really? That's wonderful. Maybe you won't feel so scared and alone anymore. I'm leaving to go live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come visit. I mean, after you get your memories back and all. It's a promise. Till next time, my friend. Yay! I knew that you two would work things out. Now, let's return to Mordsuk. We have more than our share of questions that need answering. Mordsuk. As I saw it, first you fainted all of a sudden. And then you came to. A portion of Tina's memories had returned. What in the world happened out there? I had this thing where I can see the past. I really control it. Power to look into the past, eh? Are you certain that what Escos described matches up with your recollection of the past? I don't know how to break this to you, lad, but your friend Narbut, that was with you that day, no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Phonesis, one of these goddamn warriors of light. If he was just a young child in your memories, that means that what you saw took place over 100 years ago. Would that it had been just a coincidence? Another boy with the same name. But no, judging from the fundamental command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back, I managed to recall some more about Narbut and myself. We were taken in by a group of mages, a consortium of sorts. They were searching for a means to open a hole to another world and were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. As Narbut and myself were the two they chose. You can't be serious. And yet, what could explain the Senator's ability to summon those damned hollows? And if you possess the same knowledge and training as Narbut did, it could also explain why they were able to survive in there all that time. But what I don't understand is, why haven't you aged at all? I cannot say for sure, and yet my memories slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you find a way to close the hollows. You'd be a lifesaver if you could. But don't overburden yourself, you're still recovering after all. In the meantime, don't worry. Escos and I will see that you're safe. Zurich? I thought Tainer was just a victim of the Senator. To think he was actually friends with him himself. Back when he was still a man. and it can't be a simple coincidence. Yes, I'm convinced of it now. The child holds the key to defeating Finessus. We must keep him safe and not let him out of our sights. Besides, look at how hard he's trying to recover his memories. I'm not so heartless as to kick the poor boy aside before he figures matters out. Good job, Sigrid. But we can't very well rush things. You and I will continue to prepare for the battle ahead while waiting for the rest of Tana's memories to come back to him. Ah, what is it they say? If it's all right with you, lad. What does it say? I'm so sorry. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. Look, lad, I've only known you a short while, but I can tell you have a good heart and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears and uncertainty you face even now. And I want you to promise me this. No more apologies. You are no burden to us, none the least. You're a valuable member of our band, and as long as you're willing, I want you with us. Isn't that right, Esagos? Yep. I see. Thank you, Sirig. Thank you, Esagos. I will aid your quest in whatever way I can. Now, that's more like it. I'm counting on you, lad. Just don't overburden yourself. Don't burn yourself out. The 76th quest. This might cause me to ding. Good news, friend. Tainer here has told me that his memories are starting to come back to him. There's one recollection in particular he says he's eager to discuss with the two of us. Tell us, lad, what is it? As time goes by, memories of my earlier days return to me piece by piece. Narbut and I were born to members of a great consortium of mages. From our earliest years, we were tutored in the magical arts by some of the realm's greatest scholars. The consortium's leaders sought to find a way to open a hole in time and space, a portal to other worlds, by which they could summon forth beasts of great power. Narbut and I were chosen to participate in the research. So many great beasts from beyond our world. Oh, Mage Esagos, is that even possible? Perhaps he speaks of Void Scent. Void Scent? Never heard of them. But I'll take that answer as yes. Mages come up with the damnedest ideas, eh? And yet I don't understand. Why ever would they use two young boys for such a dangerous experiment? Beasts our masters sought to summon reside in the planes most distant from our own. Reaching across such a great distance requires a tremendous store of innate ethereal power. And so our masters set about to breed the perfect mage. Marriages were arranged to wed the mightiest members of the consortium to one another, in hopes that we would bring forth children of therefore unheard of magical aptitude. Finally, they succeeded. And so you were born, and Narbut. Actually, I wonder if it's now Bear. Now Bell. Indeed, from even before we could speak, we were taught the complex incantations required to breach the boundaries between worlds. We practiced these spells day after day, night after night, from which what seemed to be eternity. At long last we were deemed ready to attempt the summoning. Sadly, the experiment ended in failure. The pull from beyond the rift was too strong to resist, and I was sucked into the hollow of my own creation. There I remained trapped, alone, and adrift in the empty void. Cadescos called me back to this world. Alas, over a century has passed since that fateful day. That's the one thing I still don't understand. If so many years have truly passed, why is it that you have not aged even a whit? I cannot say for certain, but I remember the words of one of my teachers. The rift is not unlike a border between countless worlds, a place that exists beyond time and space. If it is true that the rift exists outside of our concept of time, then it is all too possible that even seconds spent in that empty pocket could correspond to months, years, or even decades in our world. And so you return to us just as you were that day, even while over a century has passed for the rest of us. And why didn't Nilebert save you? Shouldn't it have been as simple as opening another portal to the void where you were trapped? I fear that would be close to impossible. Opening the portal and reaching as far into the rift as we did required all of our energies to focus in unison. So in losing you, not only did Nilebert lose his friend, he lost his only chance at saving you. Talk about being dealt a rough hand. Fear not. I have good news to share as well. I do believe I managed to recall the incantations needed to summon and manipulate the hollows. Summoning beasts from beyond the rift is far beyond my powers, but I just might be able to seal up the hollows for Phenonesis, so enjoy summoning. What say you, friends? Shall I give it a try? Oh, now that's music to my ears, but let's not be too hasty. After all, the last time you tried to use this magic, there were some complications, to say the least. Yes, we must make the necessary precautions before confronting Phenonesis in earnest. Let's meet outside the village where Tainer can test out his magic safe from harm. Beauty! And sink down to level 76. Wicked White, you did it, lad. Sadly, I have not the strength to reach further beyond, nor keep the portal open for more than a few moments. No, I need further training before I can face... Phronesis. Where in the hells did that bastard come from? Damn it, I'm too close! I can feel it pulling me in. No, but these are my friends. You mustn't hurt them. Echo. This isn't good. The caves have completely sealed off the tunnel from us. We're in no recourse but to press on without our companions. You heard her. What will it be? I suppose if it falls for us to slay the beast and collect the bounty, perhaps you and your band would take the lead. Ah, spare me your japes. You're no intention in giving up your prize. Mind you, I too make a promise for my companions. Promise I mean to keep. Aye, I told you the splitting up was a bad idea. If Brandon and Renderay were here, the second-rate spellcaster would be no match for us. Now, Silva. Let's not forget who our true foe is here. Admit, you're certain that if we slay this monstrosity, the Cavians will cease. According to the miners, the beast is first sighted on the same day the tremors began. It's the very presence sucking the mountain dry of its ether. We dwarves know these caves as well as we know our bodies. Trust me. I suppose it's best to make short work of it before everything comes crashing down. Trying to do Arbort's voice. Not very good at it. Hey, where do you think you're going? My apologies. I took your ceaseless prattling as an invitation to proceed on my very own. Think yourself clever, do you? Your uncommon confidence to think you can fell the beast without aid? Answer me this. Why is it that you are so intent to claiming the bounty of your own? A bounty? Indeed. At any rate, unless you have in mind to stand around here until we get crushed, we would best be moving on, yes? Finally. Something we can agree on, and so I have a proposal. Let's say we band together until our battle here is won. Tremors grow stronger. No doubt a cave is imminent. Let us vanquish the enemy with our combined strength and quit this place before it becomes our tomb. Until the battle is won, then. After that, I go on my own way. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got Ronkin Fire 3, Ronkin Blizzard, Ronkin Thunder, Ronkin Flare, and Falling Star, or Limit Break. Let's see. Guess we're doing this like not like normal Black Mage stuff. What's this? It leads deeper within. Should have asked for a map. Not that I've had much use of to the cave-ins. Still think we should manage your own mage? Perhaps it would have been more of a struggle than I expected. That's him. He's the one who drinks the mine's ether. All right, let's put this oversized bull in the pasture. Silva, the Mitt, Norbert, and me. My magics are yours for now. We'll find the fault. I will take the front. Battle is on. Oh, I got a limit break bar. Ah! There we go. We've done it. Now to find ourselves a way out. The tremors continue. But why? The fiend was vanquished, and its ether returned to the mountain. We were wrong. No, it's not the creature itself that was causing the quakes. What? Oh, yes. The crystal courses with nine inconceivable power. A vast wellspring of ether accumulated over the ages. Yes, the beast was but a hungry creature drawn here by the stone. Was I. You had no interest in the bounty all along. The stone has been left unchecked for too long. The sheer volume of ether it houses now is so vast and overwhelming it threatens to bring the entire mountain down. For now many years have I searched for it. Precious relic that could afford me the power needed to save my friend. You mean to take the stone from this place? But then what would happen to the mountain? If the ether is not returned to the earth, it is but a matter of time until the mine collapses. The miners, those who lived in the foot of the mountain, countless lives would be lost. There's no time. What can we do? Taina, my friend. Damn it! Damn it all! The tremors have stopped. Taina, forgive me. I promise you this. As long as I walk this earth, I'll never give up hope. Stone was yours to do as you pleased, and still you chose the fate of many over that of your friend. In return for your sacrifice, I would make you an offer. Come with us, and let us join you in your search for a means to save your comrade. The life of an adventurer isn't an easy one, but I dare say you strike me as a sort who just might enjoy it. And what say you? We travel the realm together and lend our strength to whatever unfortunate souls we encounter along the way. And who knows, before you know it, we might stumble upon a way to rescue your Taina. I would like that very much. Dana, forgive me. I may have failed you today, but mark my words. For as long as I walk this land, I will not abandon hope. I will find a way to bring you back to us. And today, I find myself in the company of new companions. And for now, I must lend them my strength, just as they lent theirs to me. Essigos, are you alright? Why not? Benessus is gone. I launched a few arrows in his direction while it was distracted by Tana's spell and just stole away. Anyway, I'm just glad that you're awake and on your feet again. Come now, let's head back to Mordsuk before the bastard has a chance of change of heart and comes back for us. So nice to be able to do this when I have flying. I guarantee next weekend will be a lot more streaming. In fact, I'll probably start on Friday. Or I might not. I might just end up doing some other things on Friday. But birthday weekend next weekend. A week from today. My birthday. We'll be doing more streaming. Have the day off. Even if it comes out loud, because on Saturday we're having my party. Really gave us a scare back there, clutching your head in pain with the deadly sin eater in plain sight. Let me guess, you had another one of your visions, didn't you? Exposition! Telling you about my roleplay experience. Might take me. So that's how Narbut met up. Or Narbut met up. Just goes to show you that in times of crisis, even the bitterest of rivals can turn fast friends. And let's see if we have this straight. Now, Albert made his life's mission to save Tainer here, knowing that his own energies would suffice. His own energy wouldn't suffice. He went in search for a relic that would afford him the etheric power needed to reach beyond this world. And deep in the mines that day, he found it. Yet in the end, he decided to sacrifice the stone in his own cause to save the lives of the countless innocents who called the mountain home. And so did he take his first step toward the path of a hero, a warrior of light. So that's why he came back to this place. Why he still summons hollows, as he did so many years ago. Aye, there could be no doubting it, even now that he's become a Sin Eater. Bereft of memory, reason, or any sense of his own actions, the ghastly shell of what was once Nalbert. I'm going to say Nalbert in order to differentiate him from Ardbert. Still haunts the wastelands, searching for a way to bring back his old friend. I only knew him as a child, and the whole idea of Sin Eaters and warriors of light is all too new to me. Even as the pieces come together, I could not really believe that Nalbert and this Vanessa were one and the same. But when our gazes first met, standing out there in the waste, in an instant I knew it without question. This was my friend. A friend who had been searching for me all these years. At last I know what I must do. I must stop Phronesis. My dear friend may finally find peace. Together we can do this. Thank you, my friends. In the battle, I was able to push Furnace's hollows away from Sirig, if only for a short distance. With more training, I'm certain I can learn to close them up entirely. After all you've already seen from you, I have no reason to doubt you. If you're game, so are we. Finally, some cause for hope, eh? And still we must exercise caution. The last time the boy worked his magic, our foe showed up faster than he could save Furnaces. While this might be a simple coincidence, the likelihood is high that the casting of the spell itself summoned the Sin Eater to us. Best avoid casting similar incantations until we're prepared for the final confrontation. I want you to stay close for now. Devote yourself to your studies and hone your skills to whatever degree you can in the safety of the village. In the meantime, Eskos and I will redouble our training efforts as well. Should we succeed in finding a way to counteract the Hollows, it will come down to our firepower versus our foe. We must be at full strength for the battle, lest we allow victories to slip between our fingers. Ta-da! Now I don't have to worry about... I still have XP that's left over now. This doesn't do anything for me. Oh, that I'm level 80. I still have the job quest to do. I think I need to finish the role quest first. A look in your eye. Yes, I can see that you have gained some strength since the last we met. We are pleased to hear that Tina has managed to make steady progress in training as well. The boy believes he could regain much of the knowledge and is still possessed with getting sucked possessed before getting sucked into the pocket of time and space. An admirable feat, considering that it is not long ago that he could scarcely remember his own name. Yet there is one aspect of his training that is yet to be addressed. Put simply, the boy lacks experience in battle. To work the magic necessary to seal up the hollows, it must maintain perfect focus and clarity of mind. If the battle with Furnaces is my first, I fear my concentration will be disrupted all too easily. And so I thought I'd take the boy out into the wilds, that he might acclimate himself to the battlefield and further hone his command of magic in the process. And yet we must keep a wide berth of our meringue. Were we to encounter Furnaces before we were fully prepared, the results would be disastrous. So I propose we go on an excursion of sorts. Be willing to accompany us. I believe there is much the boy can learn from our example. Excellent, and let us make for Lakeland. Beasts of the Forest of the Lost Shepherd should provide a fair challenge for the lad. Did learn. I did. So at last I have the final my final action is Scorch. There he is. Now shall we get down to doesn't it matter? How do you like my new clothes, Esagos? Not only are they stylish, why I can just feel the power welling up from deep within me. A present from Cyric. Isn't he the best? It's a simple investment, nothing more. We must seize every possible advantage if we're to triumph over our foe. Well, but enough idle chit-chat. We have work to do. Eskos, I would ask you to begin by setting an example for the boy. Show him precisely how he can conduct himself in battle. You can't very well just toss him to the Wolverines. Oh, no, can we? So why don't you get out there and hunt one down for us? Tina, watch carefully and let Esco show you how it's done. Now, I suppose this probably would have been better if instead of being red mage, I was black mage. But a little late for that. All right. There you are. Oh. Shoot. Wrong one. Anyways, I've warmed myself up. There you are. No, I can't even do my full combo. That's alright. I kind of wanted to demonstrate Scorch. It was incredible, the sheer destructive power of your spells, the way you seamlessly weaved one incantation after the next, everything. But tell me, what would you say to the very most important thing a mage should keep in mind while doing battle with the fearsome foe? Casting your spells in proper sequence is the key. Make sure to do your rotation. I'm not going to say just, as a ghost would say, just blast your foes with everything you got. I mean, pretty much the point. Oh, but of course. Thank you for it. I'll endeavor to put everything I have learned from you into practice. Where do I? No, that's not curses. Just stay still so I can hit you already. Steady now. Don't let the enemy fluster you. Keep your focus. All right, focus. That's feisty one, don't you? Oh, that's smart. God, I've seen enough of this. Are you okay? Oh dear, I didn't go nearly as well as I hoped. Don't get too down on yourself, lad. I shouldn't have jumped in the way I did. I dare say you were starting to get the hang of it there at the end. Oh, it'd be simple enough to task to follow Jessica's lead, but when that savage creature staring me down, I was too flustered to put what I learned into practice. Indeed, it's not the strength of your magic that's the issue. You simply need to compose yourself. What do you think, Escos? Any other words of wisdom you might offer me? Believe in yourself, and all will be fine. I mean, even I can do magic. I mean, me, a guy who likes to punch people in the face. Thank you. I'm sure you're right. I can't allow my foe to break my concentration like this. Anyhow, let me try it once more. This time it will go better, I promise you. Yes, the boy will be fine. I must stay my hand. I did it! The battle is won! Now that's how you wallop a Wolverine. Well done, lad. I'm proud that you could be here for your first victory. You're far too kind. I couldn't have done it without you and Escos here to show me the way. My many thanks. Don't let up now, boy. You must keep battling until all that you've learned becomes second nature. Now, are you ready? Several hours later... That's more difficult than I expected, and yet, thanks to you and Sirik, I feel like I can hold my own on the battlefield now. I'd have to agree. The way you made short work of that last critter, I'd say it's time to find you a more worthy foe. Let us return to Morzuk and plot our next course of action. Do. Oh. I can't help but look at Rose when I see them. Or male Rose, at least. You've proven the perfect mentor for the boy, Escos. Else, I dare say Sirig here. Say, old Sirig here can learn a thing or two from you. You taught him not only how to wield his spell in battle, but how to maintain his focus in the face of danger. With these fundamentals under his belt, it's just a matter of time and practice until he's ready to face Renessus. I promise you, my friends, I will not let you down. Now, if you excuse me, let's go and write down all that I've learned today while it's fresh in my memory. Such passion and determination. Must be the boy he always was. Before his time beyond the rift stole from him his memories and his spirit. He devotes himself to his training that he might help us find Renessus and bring his friend a measure of solution. There is no telling what course of battle will take, but I suspect the boy will be forced to confront his past head on. It will not be easy for him, and yet I believe it is a necessary step for him in order to forge himself a new future. For Tainer's sake, and for the sake of those who call Almarang home, we must triumph in this battle. Not to mention for the sake of our coin purses, eh? At any rate, I will leave you to your training and return to my own. The final confrontation is close at hand, and we must be ready. And we're ready. Well, look who's back, and looking more imposing than ever, I might add. You'd be pleased to know that Tina's command of his magic has advanced by leaps and bounds since we left. Says he's finally convinced he can hold his own against Renessus. Truth be told, I worry about the boy. As devoted as he is to his training, I can't help but notice the sad, uneasy look in his eye from time to time. He insists it's nothing, but of course, it's nothing, of course, but I remain unconvinced. As a fellow mage, perhaps you could succeed in reaching out to him where I failed. You should be around here somewhere. Go and find him and see that we can offer him a few words of support, don't you? There he is. Hey, buddy. What's up? Oh, hello there, Escos. Is there something I can do for you? Sirig was worried about me, you say? That is kind of him, I assure you. Completely fine. I owe so much to the both of you. You brought me back from beyond the rift, took me under your wing, trained me, and confronted me at the point that my memories and my magic both returned. Finally ready to face my old friend in battle. All because of you. Yet, there's a fear growing inside me. A fear that threatens to consume me. In my studies, I have learned much about the Sin Eaters. I learned how these who follow the most powerful Sin Eaters, like Renessus, become Sin Eaters themselves. Doomed to live out their days for mindless, unholy abominations. If I were to lose my focus in battle, and you or Sirig suffered the same fate as now bear, the only three friends I've known in this world, I lost you all. How could I ever live without myself? Thought shakes me to my very core. Worry not for us. Think only of Nalbert. So you're saying that I should free my mind of distractions and focus on the task at hand. Perhaps you're right. Worrying endlessly about things beyond my control will only serve to break my focus. Thank you, my friend. The task is a daunting one, but I will trust in myself and in the strong and gentle friends who stand by my side. Nothing would make me happier than to help Nalbert find peace, and that is not the only reason I fight this battle. I must repay you and Zurich for all you have given me. Not only did the two of you bring me back to the world, you have instilled in me a newfound sense of purpose. And yet, when the battle is done, you will leave this place. You will embark on new adventures and new companions. Worry not, I will not hold you back or stand in your way. There is another reason I must fight this battle. I must prove to you, if to all three of my friends, that I am strong enough to get by on my own. Be strong, Tina. You can do this. Sorry, I was a little carried away there. In any event, we should go tell Zurich that I'm ready. Finally back, I see. I'm starting to get worried. Does this mean we're ready to do battle with Phronesis? I am. Let us put an end to this nightmare and set Nilbert and the people to this land free. That's the spirit? Alright. The plan is to lure Phronesis to us by the same method as last time. We will venture to the central hills of Amber, a safe distance away from the city, and Tina will summon forth a hollow. It should be a matter of time before our quarry arrives. I believe our chances are best if we can lure Phronesis to a wide open space where we all have complete freedom to maneuver. Hills of Amber should suffice. We're ready? Let us away at once. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Over there. It's him. Yes, I knew you would come. But I guess we won't be needing this anymore. Give up now, there. My spells are more than a match for. My spells are more than a match for your own. These are my friends, and I will not let you take them. Do you hear me now, Bear? Your long nightmare and ours shall end this day. Oomph, and Scorch. Maybe I can put him through the hollow? There we go. Oh, this is Crystal of Light. Forgive me, Tana. For far and wide did I travel with my companions, all while searching for a way, any way at all, to bring you back to this world. And yet, in the end, all in vain. Though I treasured the adventures I had with Arbut and the others, my choice that faithful gave forever haunted me. What if I had run off with the stone and used its powers to rescue you, as I had always intended? What adventures might we have shared? I sunk into the depths of despair and felt myself a wretch for doing so. But by what right did I pity myself when it was I who consigned you to far more cruel and tragic a fate? Whatever pain, whatever loss I knew was nothing compared to what you suffered, and what you still suffer. Abandoned by your only friend, cast adrift in the cold, dark void until the end of time. Yes, no doubt you're still out there beyond the rift, cursing my name to this very day. It's not true, Nalbert. I'm right here. And yet, even if you despise me with every fiber of our being, even still, I would give anything to see you just one last time. You could curse me, revile me, rain fists and magics down upon me, but I'll be worth it, just for the chance to say, I'm sorry. Stop it, Nalbert. Please stop saying those things. Even after you had your mind, your heart, and your very humanity ripped from you, still, for all those years you kept searching for me. How could I ever hate my best friend? Don't you see, old friend? It was Essigos here who brought me back to this world, but it was you who guided him to me. You have suffered long enough, my friend. I can take care of myself now. You need worry about me no longer. Please, rest peacefully. It's over, at last. We don't need to explain to me. I know that Nalbert we saw was just a memory, a reflection from the crystal. No. Hmm? And yet, even if those words will never reach Nilbert, simply saying them aloud give me a measure of peace. I've no regrets today. And we should be getting back to town before any more sin eaters take notice of us, yes? I say, after that battle, it would use a rest, and I reckon Esco's here could as well. So we head back to Mordsuk. Since I stopped streaming so I could level up all my rolls, I'm going to stream for a little bit longer. Normal, although I do need to prepare for tonight's Bears and Dragons, which may be the last for this campaign. If anything, no Bears and Dragons next week because it's my birthday. Well, if it is in the band of the hour, I'm happy to report that tales of our triumphs are already spreading across town like wildfire. Word has it that the merchants are so grateful that they intend to sweeten the bounty with a generous personal reward. My friends, I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, Nalbert has found peace, and I can finally close the book on this chapter of my past. Every day I thank the gods for having brought us together. Feelings mutual. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect when you popped out of that hole. It's been a pleasure having you at our side. So tell me, now that you made peace with your past, what do you plan to do with your future? You and Essigos have trained me well, and I'm quite confident that I can hold my own in the battlefield. Perhaps I will travel the land and see if I might use my abilities to help those in need. If I didn't know any better, I think that those were the words of someone twice your age. If that's truly your intention, then I have something of a plan. First, I need Essigos here's permission. It's just a thought I had, but let's say we give the lion's share of the bounty to Detainer here. I reckon he needs it more than we do, and besides, we couldn't have won the battle without him. You owe me one. Haha, you're goddamn right I do. Anytime you have need of a skilled marksman, you know where to find me. And don't you worry, there will still be some coin left over for the both of us. My friends, I could never take advantage of your kindness like that. Think nothing of it. It's not easy for a boy your age to make his way in the world, and this is the least we could do. Think of it as a parting gift from your brothers in arms. Thank you, Sirig. Thank you, Essigos. As long as I live, I will never forget your generosity. Finally, I have one last proposal for you, if you're keen to hear it. There's this bounty hunter I know. He can hold his own with a bow, but he's always thought he could take on bigger marks if he had a skilled mage at his side. You're looking for a partner, that is. Sirig, you could not possibly mean... Of course I'm saying it. I'm saying it. So what'll it be? Yes! Yes, 1,000 times yes. Why, nothing would make me happier. Then I suppose that settles it. Welcome aboard, lad. I got a feeling that this was going to be the beginning of a rewarding relationship. And on that note, I do believe my new partner and I are off to the Crystarium to find ourselves a new mark. If it's not too much to ask, why don't you join us there? I still owe you your share of bounty, and I reckon it will be a good place to say our proper farewells. I like Sirig. He definitely has his head on his shoulders. So I was glad you could join us. Tanner and I just arrived a short while ago ourselves, the boy keen on starting his new life as a bounty hunter, to say the least. He's got no end of questions, that one, but there's only so much I can teach him. The rest I'll have to learn from experience, and so I intend to do what I can to show him the world and keep him safe. So don't worry about us. Between my bow and his magics, I reckon we'll be able to hold our own out there. That said, should we ever find ourselves on the trail of a particularly nasty foe, I hope you'd not be averse to lending us your strength once more. Yes, somehow I have a feeling it won't take long. It'll take another 100 years for our paths to cross. Till then, friend, stay sheltered in the shade. I'm gonna go. Oh, wait a minute! I get all of this. Cool. Nice. I got my roll quest taken care of. Let's see, where are we? We're at 2.5 hours. I'm gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna be right back. I just need to use the restroom, and I think I'm gonna do a slight continuation. I'm gonna switch back to monk temporarily. Although there is a thing I need to do, but we'll continue the MSQ to see if we can get a few steps. I'm hoping to hit something specific. So I'm gonna teleport to the Under Cups. Be right back. All right.
Faithless ones, they follow me. Why have you come? Why was it you took away our water?
Oh, so this is where the Ondu make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us your inconvenience we have caused. We are not aware of your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a more urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding.
Chieftain, what will we do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones?
What?
The mysteries have the mysteries have surged. They have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave.
I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So what's the plan? given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land that Chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Silk's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return? Cannot miss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Esagos, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to integrate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities for the Ondo? The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we could build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach do you have in mind? That Chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we were to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. His plain our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown the settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assured our host thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. I smell yours. Very well. If it can be done quickly. What do you think? I have nothing better to offer, but I do worry that it will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Asians than first meets the eye. It wants further investigation, thus I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. I'll do what I can, I suppose. Settled. Yashtola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Let's go. You won't believe who I bumped into. This is Bashash's own, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. I waited, but you did not come. Then this minstrel came, and his visits did not continue. I'm truly sorry, Posh own. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps where the dry return, a cave to the north, is a home to great crabs, and we do not fear the crabs, for they are the swiftest swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping at their claws. There's too many of them. Too many. I believe I can be of assistance there. And whatever you ask us, if you are not fond to the task, we can most welcome to join me, indeed. I will appreciate the company. With the dry return, there's a rather ominous ring to it.
Well. Of south. Ah, here it is. Knew it was around here. What should I got out of the Tempest? I got 2. I think a lot of the Aether cards are kind of, sort of, along the route. Oh. Let's go. Teleport. Only 70 gil. You could crack their shells. Must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say that we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Pashun, this was to be part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, of which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I'd very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It's utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who are out hunting survived. They swam aimless and lost until they spied bullies here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, as long had they stood under the water, yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protecting from the Tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders would guide their course, and from this did they discern the truth. That the ancients have chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus it is judged that your coming in this great vanishing of water with the ancient design will find warm welcomes here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided? The ancients have blessed us with protecting prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, then there will be no doubt in the matter. And it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, Pashon. Owen, and we'll continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. You should return to the task at hand. Only, do not try to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. Askus, have you learned out of note? Blah, 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 blah. Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I would like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Aether Curtain quest. No. Alright, so I don't get confused, I'm going to hold that one. Hold that Aether Curtain! Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Yondo's settlement and note their distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations. Alright, let's look at the survey point. The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you can't remove as much of a flake of stone. Oh, wait. What have you discovered? Distinctive windows, and I can't even damage the stone. Yeah, so we agreed that the windows are most distinctive. Twould seem the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And we say that we could not so much as scratch the wall, even with your might behind the blade. As it goes, everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by a particular material in which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed by ordinary stone, but I assure you it's nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe this substance as a composite of several mineral properties blended in to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, while the greatest in Norbrand, produced nothing which compares this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the ancestors of their sanctuary? I suspect your answer lies with the reason Emexelk withdrew here to the Tempest. He may have simply wished to retreat somewhere where mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there's many such remote locations. Why here, specifically? Emexelk is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Asian agenda. Or mayhap 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. I could say either way. As it goes, not very bright. He punches.
cast spells. He's just a very violent little Lalafell. It is my theory that these structures are remnants of a time before history of a star that is yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source world would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they may have remained untouched for millennia. Copy of the mural in the Katana Revel. Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fano after our victory in Calusia. Here is the first scene. By Emmett Silk's own words, it depicts the city of Eon's past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those we have just inspected? We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I've seen, not more than sand, more than sand and more sand lies to the east. And the south has held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further in the northwest. Hmm. Ah! That's 3 of them.
Hold on. See the engines. Ah! There it is. The problem was finding the survey point. Ah. This is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess its purpose, and it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies beneath the ground, I wonder. Centuries of our history have been settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization's existence forgotten by all except a handful of Ascians. And yet, it did exist. They lived here, in this city. And let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the Ascians' return. Thus, can we surmise that the Ondo saw shining in the abyss. The abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of the age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emet himself? It is almost certain he is there. And we fear to find this stronghold in a timely manner. It seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If we are not to worry, it would be useful to speak with Pashon again and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge. Back to the cups. Oop. And there's a aura right on top of me when I teleport in. Ah, Elpino's friend, you and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused with the water's parted. Anything else you could do? Have you been to the Walls of the Forgotten? Are those the ruins to the northwest? Yes, as the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps are guided us by the ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen well, and I'll tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing that as he does to live in the ocean, but his skills are beyond question.
It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return of our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose will be laid to rest. His name is Grenold, and Grenold. We will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Okay. So, fun fact. So Greno looks awfully familiar, at least the name. It's very close to Geralt, who is the guy that we go to for basically every single one of the relic weapons. The relic weapons from the the first, from Realm Reborn, Realm Reborn to Heaven's Word and in Stormblood, the relic weapons were all forged by Geralt. That's just great. Oh, that's just great. That is. Me mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Geralt, somebody's come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or it might be as you're a ghost, eh? Come on, foul shade. These feats are set on me, rotten soul. Got no use for it. A craftsman who can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug than with a diamond hammer. But that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Grenold appears to suffer from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Maybe you can help psych him up. You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would you? Not what you expect from a servant of the netherworld. How would Essigos respond to seeing basically Geralt's doppelganger? It really comes to this. What's that supposed to mean? Not impressed with what you see, lad? Right, well, may have let myself go a bit. This was meant to be an underwater sanctuary. The underwater sanctuary, a place where I could concentrate on my work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand, now that you're so damned important. Now, what's so damned important that you dive down here at the bottom of the bleeding Tempest to bother me? Just light for the Yondo. Oh, the Yondo lamp. God, curse me, empty head. It's not so much as made a start. I'm worthless than a sea slug, nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery dates long past, me workbench is untouched, and I can't call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have you? Bringing light to them ruins is an act of deep religious and cultural significance, and it is my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I just can't bloody well. God, me mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I pissed away me last drop of inspiration. Tell me if you got something to show me. Something that'll get me amused or right. Good kick up the arse. You don't want to honor the coming of their ancients, so censoring lights got to blaze with the right kind of brightness.
like the spark of life caught in a crystal, but just being sparkly not enough. It's just a dense with joy and sorrow and senseless hardship endured. You know what I mean? Your thoughts turn to Albert and the crystal you discovered at the end of his journey. Maybe Grenold would find inspiration in that. By the way, this is why I at least did one of these whole quests. Because I wouldn't be able to complete this quest. I've let the under down, and more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. Showed her all the crystal, which belonged to one of Albert's companions. Whoa, what's that you got there? Striking beauty shines with heartache and laughter and the transcendence of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Aye, I can see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. Aye, I've never captured such gleam. Not if they had labored 100 years. Well, bugger me if I don't mean to try, but where's me tools? God damn you! I must set to work about the feeling fades. I can feel it, a vision forming in my mind. Stand aside, lad, and let me itching hands get to work. And done. I take the wonders that crystal showed me and channel them into a new shape that befits the Undo's spiritual chamber. Oh, wow. Neato. Not a bad job if I do say so myself. And to think it was this close to hanging up me hammer until after studying the craft of the ancients. I've been across the length and breadth of Norvent and gobbled up every scrap of crafting wisdom as I could. And no matter what technique I tried, it worked, just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages, and that's what drew me here in the first place. Built me workshop, got the fords burning, and lost me bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, and I might never have gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey you sing songs about. The echoes, the memory of it holds just speaks directly to your heart. Yes. I can still feel him coursing through me, the inspiration not fading away. I'm welling up stronger and stronger. Give me the chance and I reckon I can weave the Crystal Saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'm almost forgotten the Ondo's commission. If you could drag that lamp over to Tosh As for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for you to try. You now have access to Earl's Forges. Equipment rewards will become available for the collection based on the role quests you've completed. I need to complete the other 4 ones in order to get my monk one. But, fortunately, I should be able to, well, first off, hats are fine. I need to, okay, that's, okay, cool. So instead of completing a job quest to get these, all I needed to do was complete this quest. Is just complete my role quest, and I can come to him to basically pick up the artifact armor for this expansion. Ta-da! Comes with a weapon too. The only thing is, I probably should have done the monk one since I'm primarily doing this on monk, just so I could get that. But I'll do that next time. Then we'll come back here and pick it up. Here we are. Actually, I could just teleport to the cups. What the hell? Where did that come from? Was that somebody's mount or something that was making noises? Anyways. What is it that you have there? The sacred lamp. The defenseless one has kept its promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the cups, and now you have come. You come to me bearing the light we have almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. You have doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once our prayers have been offered.
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan. Was it... Did it belong to one of my friends?
Missed that part, did you?
I tried to give you a measure of privacy. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day. So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal?
Kind of regret not completing all four of them before doing this, but...
Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you, about the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you. To the very end.
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
It seems we've succeeded in gaining their trust.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emmett Selk was telling the truth.
Nor I. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
How are you feeling?
I'm doing fine. I still kind of see myself as a glowing white, though.
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city. The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes, impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancient?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Shall we?
All right. I think this is where I'm going to actually cut it for today. I will pick up on Friday. Right, Friday I have the day off. So I'll be, I'm not exactly sure what time of day I'll do it. But it will be on Friday. So keep watch, follow the channel to get notifications. And yeah. B&D a little bit later, might be a little bit later than normal. So maybe in an hour or so. Couple hours, just because I think some of our people are going to be a little late. That is okay. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, cubsoutloud.com is where you can find all the podcast stuff. YouTube.com/cubsoutloud, and don't forget our store at zazzle.com/cubsoutloud. Thank you for watching.